We're going to look at how to make a PDF form from an Excel template. This is the original request, and the requester asks to replicate a form that's on a website, which looks like this. Things to notice: most of these are text fields. There are a couple of drop-down list boxes here, and a few radio buttons and checkboxes. What I've done is mock this up in Excel. The thing that Excel lets you do most easily is line up all the fields. It makes alignment pretty easy. What I've tried to do in most cases is put the field label in one column and then use the borders and choose bottom border for the cells adjacent to it. When we go to bring this into Acrobat, Acrobat is going to be shrewd enough to understand that this is a text field. Now, in one case here with zip, I didn't add enough columns, enough separate columns to make this work because I'm sharing this with this little place for a radio button. So what I probably want to do here is just insert another column. Then I'll probably want to reduce this by that width. So this is 3.7. So I'll take this down from 14.8 to 10 point something. Okay, so now what that should let me do is then I can move doctorate over to the left, still have my space for that, and still have zip, which probably I want to just copy or cut and paste here and then align right. That'll be more consistent with all the other ones. Let me just do a quick print preview to make sure that it will snuggle onto one page nicely, and it does. So once I've gotten this laid out the way I want, notice that for the list boxes, this one and this guy, I'm just not putting anything there, and I'm leaving blank spaces next to the checkbox, the radio buttons and checkboxes that I want. So these are going to be little check marks. These guys are going to be radio buttons. I'm just leaving those blank. Okay, I'm going to save these changes, and then I think I'm going to want to just close this. Acrobat is going to reopen it when we do the import. So I'm going to go to Start and open up Acrobat. Here it's going to say Create Form, and from an existing document. Okay, I'm going to browse to the document, and I'm going to select the Excel. Okay. Acrobat announces that I'm in form editing mode, which is fine for me since I want to edit a form. I'm going to bump up the zoom a little bit so I can see better. And you'll notice a couple of things. On the right, this is going to show you the tab order of your fields. So when we go to add in our additional fields, the specialty ones like the drop-down lists, we're going to end up having to shift them around over here on the right to make sure that the tab order works. Okay, so it looks as if, and again it's a kind of a cursory run through, as if my text fields are okay. So now I'm just going to go up here and add a field. I'm going to choose list box, and once I've chosen list box, it's got the little crosshairs here that let me line it up with the ones around. So the first thing I'm going to do is this one next to affiliation. I'm just going to drag myself a box. I'll try to make it the same size as the ones above and below it. Okay, I'll give this a name. And you'll notice that down in the lower right here it shows up. Since I want it to appear after social, I'm going to grab this and just drag it upward and drop it there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the properties of that box. I can do that by right-clicking on it and choosing properties. And then next to options, here's where I can enter the items in my list. So as it happens, in my Excel, I believe I've kept my drop-down items listed over here for reference. So I'm just going to refer to that sheet so I can see what the different choices ought to be. I'm going to go back and forth from one to the other, just copying and pasting to make sure I don't have any key-in errors. Alright, so the first thing that I want on my original form here, notice that it says select UC campus with little hyphens on either side. I'm going to make that my first item. So 2 hyphens. Okay, and I'll add that. And I'm going to run down the list of other ones of actual campuses. I need to put it up here. And then it'll just populate these. Okay, once I've got those things there, I'm going to click on that, select UC Campus, and it says select an item in the list to make it the default choice. So that'll be the one that shows up on the screen. So let me go ahead and click close there. And now we're going to do the same thing for the college school. So I'll skip ahead here on the video so you don't have to watch me do all that again. Okay, so I've populated select a college or school with the different colleges and schools, and I've selected the first item here to make it the default. Okay, so these two are going to be radio buttons, so I'm going to click Add New Field, Radio Button. I'll put the first one next to Yes, and choice 1 I will name as Yes. The group name will be Recent Callisto, and then I'm going to add another button to the same group, put it next to No. Make its choice name No. And that should do it. So now I've got yes and no for this. Up here under UC degree, I'm going to add a field. I don't know whether I want checkboxes here. That's what the original form had, so I guess I will. So I'll put a checkbox there. Okay, once I've got those checkboxes there, then I'm going to do my radio buttons for forms of payment. Click one for there. I'll keep clicking add a button here. Okay, once I've got those, you can click on them and use the arrow keys to move them around just a little bit. Try to make them line up a little better. Okay, once I've got those things in place, again I'm going to go over here to the right and move them to the correct location. So after social, I've got affiliation, so I've moved that already. Then after UC degree date, I've got bachelor's, master's, credential, and doctorate, which is good. UCB college or school, I've got that there. And then recent Callisto, yes or no. And then after that, I should have your student ID. I guess I need to minimize that to make this work. Okay, recent Callisto, then your student ID, then Career Center alumni ID. And then form of payment last. City, state, zip. Okay. So I've got the tab order the way I want it. I'm going to come up here and click Preview. And just tab through here. So first name, middle, last, address, Okay, so it seems to have worked. Then I'll come up here and save as. And I'm going to save it as this thing called an optimized PDF.